I mean, he washed the cat food off most of the time.
Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of the Jeff Heilman Project. We hope that you had a happy Thanksgiving. Lots of food and friends and fun and leftovers. We actually had Thanksgiving dinner number 2 tonight because when we had so many people over, there just weren't any leftovers left. So the kids were like, you know what, Mom, we need some leftovers. So we made it again. And second time was the charm. It was equally as good. Thank you, Madeline. Shout out to my daughter for helping make an amazing turkey dinner part 2. And this week, it's been cold in San Jose. I think that it was about in the high 30s, low 40s this morning when I was out walking the dog. So it's definitely getting nippy out here, but maybe it's not where you are, or maybe it's even colder where you are. Let us know. Let us know how's the temp? How's your temperature? Speaking of temperature, this morning I was thinking, well, actually right now as we came into the booth, we kind of had all these, a lot of times with the Jeff Heilman Project, I do have some topics to talk about before we come in here and pre-thought out and notes and the whole 9 yards. But this morning's been kind of a clean the whole house day and recover from having house guests for a while. So I didn't really have anything pre-planned. But when we got into the booth, I knew exactly, Jeff, what we were going to talk about today and what we're actually going to talk about. And I hope that we have you salivating by the end of this episode is breakfast. You know, Jeff, an alarming amount of the population does not eat breakfast in the morning. And it tends to be one of our favorite meals. I think you and I probably would prefer going out to breakfast than to dinner. And so I just thought, there's so many different varieties of breakfast. It's kind of a random thing to talk about, but we always like to encourage bringing the humanities into corporate world and where things can become mundane. I know a lot of you guys are going through your quarters and you're coming to the end of the year and it's really super stressful. So I thought, heck, let's talk about something that possibly doesn't bring any stress whatsoever, which is how do you like your eggs? How do you prefer your eggs? Okay, but when we go out, I've noticed you order... let's see, you order the skillet. I think now, like some of the places we go to, they offer like a skillet. I still don't quite understand. There's omelets, there's skillets, and then there's hashes. I don't know. I guess one has potatoes in it.
Yeah.
When you were growing up, what kind of breakfast? Because your mom was really good about making like food from scratch, and she liked to cook.
The time.
Would you do the typical like cereal Monday through Friday and family breakfast on the weekends, or
we had cereal? We had homemade cereal, granola.
Okay.
We had homemade yogurt.
Yes.
We had homemade bread.
Okay.
We had eggs, bacon.
But like if you're going to school in the morning, did you have a go-to breakfast?
We'd have a lot of cereal. We did eat a lot of cereal. Yeah. If anybody out there knows how to get a hold of Heartland cereal, not the raisin one, just the regular granola. Yeah. Basically sugar with oats added.
You used to love that. I remember when we were first married, you were like, where's the Heartland?
I think it's like $100 a box on Amazon, but yeah.
I felt like it was like $100 a box when it was on the shelf.
Yeah. So good.
So, yeah, our go-to growing up was definitely, well, not for our kids, but my go-to growing up was definitely Honey Nut Cheerios. I think it was, well, when I was little, it was Cheerios. But then when I grew up, it got like to elementary school, it was Honey Nut Cheerios.
I will not eat them unless I'm starving to death.
And come to find out now, they've always been, they're gluten-free. And so a big part of the reason why I keep those on the shelf is because we have a gluten-free child. And so those are nice and just, they're crunchy, they're sweet, and they're gluten-free. And so we had those, plus the price point has always been really affordable for the family when you're doing that. But let's see, my favorite breakfast, like actually non-cereal related, because when I would go to my grandma's when it wasn't a school day, she would make breakfast. My favorite breakfast was her French toast. She would make sandwich bread French toast, not like any kind of fancy, like a leftover. I guess French toast is traditionally made with like the leftover from the night before. Yeah,
Okay.
it's the baguettes or
Yeah.
the big French loaves, and
Yeah.
they would make it for breakfast because it goes stale, if you don't eat it all, and so you make it the next morning. But she would make sandwich French toast, so it'd be just like whole wheat, honey whole wheat bread with eggs on both sides, and then pan fried on the stove. But I didn't like syrup. I've never liked syrup. I'm not a maple syrup person.
I've seen you eat it.
I eat it, but it's not. I don't like it. I've
didn't
never
know
liked
that.
it. So she would do a little pat of butter, so the butter would start pooling because it's sandwich toast and it would sink in the middle. A little pull of butter, and then just brown sugar on the top and brown sugar and cinnamon. But it was my favorite because the brown sugar doesn't melt, so it just kind of got a nice crunchy little. It was. I don't know. It was just so good. So if you guys ever try French toast with brown sugar, cinnamon, and butter, it was my breakfast dream growing up.
Yeah.
When we go out to restaurants now, my diet has clearly changed, and I'm always looking for like the fitness trainer type breakfasts. Let's go through the restaurants locally and what you would typically order. Okay, so if you're going to John's Excellent, what do you order for breakfast?
I think I get the crab Benedict.
Yeah.
Typically, that's the best thing on the menu, I think.
And a Benedict is it's hollandaise, right? Hollandaise and crab cake and English muffin.
That's right.
That's good. If we're going...
they also have a really good corned beef hash and eggs that I've had multiple times before.
And then if we're going to Toast, which is one that we also frequent in this area.
That's the chorizo skillet.
Chorizo skillet. You used to, when we first married, you used to order, oh my God, linguiça and eggs. That was like your thing.
Number one favorite breakfast. Yeah, because my mom, so anybody that's from California would know the Bay Area, and anybody from the Bay Area would know Los Gatos, and anybody that's from Los Gatos would know the Los Gatos Cafe. And one time, I probably never went out to eat. I probably did not go out to eat 10 times before I graduated from high school.
Wow.
It was like people bringing you food. It was such a crazy novelty. But one time my mom took me out to Los Gatos Cafe on a Saturday morning. It was like a little date breakfast. And linguiça. I mean, that was just fun to say. And then I tried it, and it's like, oh, my future with spicy foods is...
When they make linguiça, does it come out like as a whole sausage, or do they cut it up into pieces?
In this case, they cooked the sausage whole, and they split it down the middle and pan fried it to get a little crunch, a little seared.
That's good.
And so, and then you would slice it, obviously, on the plate. And oh man, that's just linguiça and eggs with sourdough bread, toasted. If you folks on the East Coast have never had sourdough bread, oh my gosh.
That's hard for me to imagine. I remember going to the East Coast and
They don't have it.
Where's the sourdough? They're like, we got rye,
Huh?
we got pumpernickel.
They're like, rye. We got, or they'd ask you, like, you mean white? I'm like,
no.
All right. Sounds like you need to take a trip to San Francisco.
Yeah, for sure. San Francisco
so
sourdough.
There's a bread called sourdough bread, and if you've never had it before, you are depraved. It is so good. I remember Joe Harmer and I.
Wait, deprived.
Deprived?
Not depraved.
What's depraved?
Depraved is like crazy. Like you're depraved.
Well, you're depraved and deprived.
I'm pretty sure deprived means without.
We're going to have Andrew put the definition of depraved.
Depraved means crazy.
Into the video. Depraved, yeah. Today's secret password definition of depraved is depraved.
Yeah.
I thought that's what Like when you didn't get what you wanted,
No,
you were
that's
depraved.
deprived. There's a difference.
It's proof you don't have to. You don't have to know how to talk. Well, then what's depraved?
Depraved is like crazy, like depraved in the mind, like without.
I always thought that meant you didn't get what you wanted if you were depraved.
No, you're deprived. Okay, new title of this episode: deprived or depraved?
Or depraved.
Which one are you? Okay, yes, but I agree. If you have not tried sourdough bread, if you have not tried sourdough bread, if you have not tried sourdough bread, we would love for you to try it. Come to California and try it. But it started out of the gold rush, right? Like San Francisco.
I don't know where sourdough bread came from. I know it's fermented.
Starter that ended up yeast, and they put in the bread, and it made this. But it can help the bread give it flavor, and it lasts a while.
Super chewy
it's awesome.
Lots of them. And then when you put butter and strawberry jelly on that, Smucker strawberry jelly.
And because it's fermented, it's actually good for your gut. It's got some good probiotics in it that is healthier for you than regular white bread. Of course, whole grain bread is healthier, the healthiest, but the sourdough is really good for your fermented.
Breakfast to me, like I'm rested. I get to wake up. We get to go out to eat. The kids
bring you unlimited coffee.
They bring you coffee. You have the whole rest of your day.
Okay, so toast, you order the, that's what you said, the hash. What about when you're going to...
I'll get the hash and toast, or I'll get...
Bill's.
Always get a waffle.
Bill's is good. Bill's is Mexican breakfast. It's like chilaquiles and...
They have good Benedicts there, too, and they have linguiça and eggs.
Yeah, for sure.
There, and waffles and French toast and...
What about Stacks?
Omelets.
Stacks is new. Hey, Stacks.
Stacks, what's up?
Love you in the Bay Area. If you're in the Bay Area, come to Stacks.
We've probably been there 4 or 5 times in the last
They have a really
month.
good, I've been getting the granola. Like they have a granola with low-fat milk. That's really good with fresh berries. Breakfast does seem to be, you're breaking your fast is what breakfast is, and you haven't eaten for...
8 hours.
8 to 10, or in your case, if you've been asleep for 16 hours, you're breaking that.
Welcome to my weekend.
We're breaking that. And so breakfast is probably one of the most satisfying, which is why they say it's one of the most important meals of the day. And it really does set the tone for the rest of the day. I've noticed when I have a good, healthy breakfast, I don't need to eat as much throughout the rest of the day because my body's kind of assimilated back to eating again. And it's good. I really enjoy. I'm the kind of person that can eat the same thing every day. I can eat oatmeal, a steel-cut oatmeal every single day, the way that I make it. I love it. I can eat,
I like steel-cut oatmeal.
I can pretty much order the same food every day. But I just thought that breakfast would be fun to talk about. I know that our kids really like Eggo waffles, like being able to pop.
Remember that
Eggo
time
waffles.
You went on the road?
I do remember it.
Where did you go?
I was in France.
You went to Paris, yeah. And I think we fed the kids waffles.
Ate frozen waffles for like 12 days or whatever it was.
12 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had 2 big cases
I went to Costco and I got you guys the big ones.
110. We had 2 cases of 110 waffles.
I also got you other food too.
We didn't eat that other food. When we found out there was waffles, it was like, it is on.
Well, that just goes to show that breakfast has always been a Heilman favorite meal.
I don't think my gut ever forgave me for that.
And the crispy.
Remember the hair?
Point, the
I didn't realize you had to brush a little girl's hair every day when she had long hair.
Well, especially when it's getting
8 days,
laced
it was
in syrup.
Well, nobody's perfect. And I remember after like 8 days of not brushing Nessie's hair, I was like, oh no. Her hair it looked bad. It looked like a bird nest. I didn't realize you had to brush your hair every day. And so, yeah.
There's a lot of things that kids require daily, like food and...
I had the food part down. That's what the waffles were for.
Teeth brushing, and hair brushing.
We did some teeth brushing.
Yeah, but I think it's just fun. It's fun to talk about breakfast, and in this family we go through eggs like it's nobody's business. Both Joe and
we go through
Andrew. How many eggs do you eat every morning,
eggs
Andrew?
A week.
When I do eat eggs, I try to eat 4.
Yeah, 4 sunny side up eggs plus like 3 pieces of bacon and a vegetable, and same with Joe.
Goodness.
So in a morning we will go through a dozen eggs in a morning.
Yeah.
Like if everybody's
we go through
eating them. When I make, you guys, when we have like the family breakfast on like a Sunday and or Saturday and Jeffrey's in town, I will make 18 eggs for breakfast. Scrambled eggs. That's how many eggs it takes to scramble.
And it's not even just the eggs, because then you do pancakes on top of
that.
Yeah,
you got.
Bacon on
but
top
but
of that.
Thank God
fruit
for the
plate,
the
mimosas,
big,
and orange
the big
juice.
Krusty's pancake mix that we swear
we
by,
love
the Krusty's
Krusty's
pancake mix. And if you want to learn, Christine, if you're watching, I'm gonna come over. I'm gonna teach you how to make pancakes. But you take the Krusty's buttermilk pancake. This is Grandpa Dan cakes. He has his own cakes. The Krusty's buttermilk pancake mix, and you use sour cream. You know, because it's like, well, it's an eyeball thing. I know how to do it now. You like a cup of the pancake, and then you basically put all of the dry in, and then you just slowly start adding the wet and stirring it until you get to the right consistency. But you make it with sour cream and milk, or sour cream and even buttermilk, and it makes the best pancakes. Grandpa Dan cakes are made with sour cream, and they give it that. I guess they kind of give it a sourdough type of flavor, but it's spongy. You know, they're light and spongy. But pancakes, I mean, you could probably you could write an entire book about the Hyde sugar donuts from junior high school, middle school.
They were eggy.
And they were like
eggy.
Hard sugar on the outside.
Oh.
But when you bit it, it became like crunchy.
there was a bit of home.
A bit of home.
Right in the middle of those suckers.
And here's how good those donuts were, guys. They limited you. You could only order.
You're telling broke people they can't buy these.
You could only have 2.
They cost, how much were they? Weren't they like?
I don't remember.
I thought they were like 20 cents.
It didn't matter.
I know, but you're telling broke people, broke kids, they can't buy donuts?
They just wanted to have more than just enough for Jeff.
Well, I know, but if I show up with like $20,
you worked at the cafeteria, didn't you?
Not that one. Donuts? I would never have allowed a limit on donuts.
Speaking of donuts, you got to tell the kids, at least for posterity, about your donut guy that would come with the garbage bags of donuts to the house.
Well, okay, but the garbage bags were his transportation method. This guy named Sam, and he was nice, totally harmless guy, but he would work down at the old folks home, and they would get donuts delivered, and every so often they'd have extras, like 4 dozen extras. They had a bunch of people living down at the old folks home, so he would collect all the old donuts in a garbage bag, and then he would
Are we talking black garbage bag, or are we talking like the white kitchen bags?
Black garbage bag.
Oh, like Santa's got a new bag.
Santa's got a brand new bag. Yeah, but it's filled with donuts. But they were like, he'd bring them in the morning, so they weren't melted or anything. Okay. They were just kind of
day old.
Yeah, like day old donuts in
like
a garbage bag.
Like 5 dozen day old donuts in a garbage bag.
Yeah, like a couple dozen, 3-4 dozen donuts in a day old garbage bag.
What would your mom say? Making granola for making your own yogurt for breakfast?
Exactly. Yeah, we knew his elevator didn't quite go all the way to the top when he was using cat food lids as like medals from the war. They were, yeah, he was decorated.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I mean, he washed the cat food off most of the time before.
Wait. So did your mom just like take the garbage bag from one hand to the other and throw it away, or did she let you guys?
She threw it away and then I'd go after him. I was like, you're not getting rid of free donuts on my watch. I don't care if you are my mom. Besides, this guy's legit. He was in the war. You can trust him. He's a soldier. He's got a cat food. He's got a cat can. Got a can of cat food lid. Pinned to his.
I know, like
pinned to
medals,
his overalls.
Yeah, medals of honor.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Oh my God.
I'm not exactly sure if that was sharpshooting or what, but he got it for something.
Oh, God bless Sam. Okay.
Yeah.
So you got the donuts.
Yeah.
Well, we used to live when we were the second. No. Okay. Like one, two. Our 8th house as a couple, when Andrew was a baby, we brought Andrew home to that house.
Little noosh.
18 years ago, was right behind the donut wheel, which in Cupertino
that's the bomb.
A staple.
It's 24 hours. I don't think they have ever closed their doors since like 1972.
And the decor still looks like it.
Oh yeah.
I'm a little put off by the fact that like they pulled everything out for COVID and they haven't put it back in.
Yeah, you still can't go to the bathroom. like really?
Okay.
If you're still worried about me getting COVID, getting COVID from me,
anyway,
how do you allow people in your store?
They are the ones that taught me about the French cruller donut, which is that egg donut that's twisted. It's twisted and then it's
if you don't
dipped.
know what a French cruller is.
And you can't get it. You can't like I've had them other places, and
I've
they
had
just
them other
don't.
places too, and they
not
don't taste
even
as
close.
good. They're not as good.
Close.
They're not as good at Donut Wheel. Donut Wheel is
remember
the bomb.
Winchell's? Winchell's was like way back.
I do.
Dunkin' is
$3.99 a dozen. Now they're $3.99 a donut.
Okay, now we're gonna really go way out there because we have been to Round Rock Donuts. Outside of Austin, and we will go if we get anywhere in proximity to Austin.
Oh my
god! Round Rock Donuts,
and it burned down, and they built it right
back
because that town needs their donuts.
Now Stan's here is pretty close.
I would say Stan's is pretty close. Yeah.
I mean, if there's for me now,
the Round Rock donuts are extra eggy though. They're like yellow.
They are yellow.
They're bright
and they're
yellow.
Like
it's not like food coloring yellow. It's like egg yolk.
And they're squares.
Yellow.
They're like squares
They're
with a
squares
circle cut
because
out.
they pack them into those little boxes.
I would say if I would vote, it'd be like Round Rock.
Stan's is number 2, and then Krispy
Kreme.
Yep.
Bop bop bop.
So if you're gonna do breakfast.
Yeah, if you're going to do breakfast, we can make an entire episode about it because we just love.
We go to breakfast all the time. All the time.
Love breakfast.
Top favorite breakfast spots? No particular order, but just off the stream of consciousness.
Four
Toast.
Seasons Palo Alto.
Four Seasons Palo Alto. Any Four Seasons has great breakfast. Four Seasons Palo Alto. Four Seasons Papagayo Peninsula in Costa Rica. Both good. Stan's Donuts is great. Bill's Toast.
Mm-hmm.
Moe's. Stacks. What's the pancake place that's like the old diner?
Original
Joe's. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That is like a old school diner vibe.
Diner.
With the
where's the place we go and get the corned beef hash with the picnic tables?
Oh, Hash House.
Hash House. Oh, great. Santa Clara. Great. We go to Starbucks. We go to Pete's almost every day. Almost every single day we go to Pete's.
I go to Pete's every day. I do go to Pete's every day.
Yeah.
I go every morning.
That's great.
That's fun. Just
I go to Denny's for breakfast. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's great. People would be like, Denny's.
Why do we tend to go towards Denny's and not IHOP? Is it just there's just more Denny's than there are IHOP?
IHOP's all about pancakes and Denny's is all about all kinds of stuff.
Maybe that's why.
And because we don't have Waffle House.
Oh my God! When we had literally like, so one of these days you're going to be watching this podcast and you're going to be like, remember Jeff and Jessica back when they were broke?
Remember they were broke.
We would go to Carl's Jr. with Oscar, and we would get like 3 boxes. I mean, we had lots of like it wasn't everybody got their own French toast box. It was like like we'd get like 3. Like we'd get like 3 boxes and then we'd pass them out and each kid would get like 2 French toast sticks or 3 French toast sticks with the powdered sugar and the dip it in the syrup?
I would get like 5 or 6 packages of those things.
I remember.
Oh, so
and we'd like, because the kids would sit in like rows, and so it's like the back row. Okay, here's 2 boxes for the back row, 2 boxes for the mid row, 2 boxes for the front.
Yeah, trying not to get syrup on the carpet.
Well,
they're like,
no,
okay.
no. I knew not to pass the syrup.
Oh,
it
that's
was
right.
just the powdered sugar,
Yeah.
but that was
Okay.
enough. Little fried,
You too.
beautiful French toast breakfast. But there was the
syrup in the carpet.
I think is it a Adam Sandler movie where he's doing something and he's like, it's like 9 a.m. and you know what, and he like normally sleeps in, but he can like finally get that egg McMuffin from McDonald's, because McDonald's didn't serve breakfast all day. Now they
Right.
serve breakfast all day.
Right.
We were of the generation
10:31
to where
out of luck, bro.
the signs would flip and you're out. No
Yep.
more egg McMuffin.
You're sitting there eating a Big Mac at 10:31, and you're like, I don't want this. I want my McMuffin egg or whatever.
Oh man, but at McDonald's it was
McWhack-it.
always egg McMuffin with no egg. So I guess it's just a McMuffin, sausage McMuffin, no egg.
Sausage McMuffin.
But
Okay.
I don't eat that anymore. I can't eat that stuff anymore. But it was that was my childhood growing
Yeah.
up in a nutshell.
Now they have Chick-fil-A breakfast. Oh,
Yeah, that's
Chick-fil-A
good.
breakfast is amazing. The little
hashy
biscuit,
browns, the little
biscuits that they make
round
with the
hashy
chicken
browns,
stuff and the egg and
biscuit and the little
with the,
cheese.
with the sauce. I'm not even a foodie, but Chick-fil-A's got a pretty baller breakfast for a fast food place.
Yeah, clearly we're not foodies because we're talking about some pretty.
I appreciate nice food. I've had tons of nice food. I've had $400 Wagyu, BBS, BB8, whatever those are, so with the Bs.
B.
I think it's like BB12,
yeah.
BBS 12K, WXYZ, something
Yes.
like that.
From
BB8's from Star
certain
Wars. I know that.
prefix and yes.
But they do with the Wagyu steaks. I mean, $400 for a steak, and I couldn't even finish it. Basically, eating
Oh, it's so
steak flavored
good.
fat.
You know, I can't remember
Oh.
the last time I had Wagyu. I think Gage
Like
actually.
1 ounce
Gage gave me some.
plenty.
Gage made some the other
Plenty.
a few months back, and it was so good.
Oh, cannot eat any more than just a
But
little
I'm
bit
trying
of
to think of like the best breakfast. You know, there was some really good croissants in Paris, but they weren't like, we never like sat down to breakfast and had a breakfast with, silver cloches or anything. We were walking and we were kind of always on the go.
What's a cloches?
A cloche is the thing that they take off the top. Like you get the platter is silver and then they have the dome and then you pull the dome off. That's a cloche. That's called a cloche.
Cloche is the dome. The dome is called a cloche.
Yeah, it's called a cloche. So we never had like any formal breakfast like that. Have you ever been inside the plaza in New York or like had food or drinks or anything at the plaza?
I've been inside the plaza. I don't think I've walked past it.
Yeah.
It's right on the corner of.
I mean, when I
Fifth
think
Avenue
like
I think it's
New
Fifth
York
Avenue.
City and
Maybe
tea
Americas.
service and fancy breakfast and food, I always just think of the plaza, and I
Yeah.
just didn't know if you'd ever been to the plaza.
No, I don't think I've ever been inside. I've walked past it a bunch of
The
times.
Carlisle, though, you've been to,
Carlisle, I've been to. Took Madeline there. Yeah,
and there's a bar. And
amazing.
you know who had really good breakfast was that hotel in. Where were we where Gage met us? Was that Sacramento? And there was like a downstairs bar and it was like velvety seats and stuff. And we were, it was for Steve's
Yes,
thing.
they
And
had a
then
good
we were
breakfast.
staying at the hotel and there was
Yeah.
just a really nice, like the aesthetic environment was really nice
Yep.
at the hotel and had really good breakfast. But
Yum. So we're breakfast people.
we're breakfast people. What about you? Are you breakfast, lunch, dinner, desserts? Any kind
Post
of
in
food
the
that's
comments below.
your faves? Let us know,
Post
and hopefully you guys are gonna have some ideas.
hope.
Maybe some brunches coming
Let's go to
out.
breakfast tomorrow.
Yes, and think of us
Don't
while you're
forget to
eating
like
your
and subscribe
while
with
you're
ketchup.
eating your waffles and your sticky fingers.
Yay.
Have an awesome
Thanks,
rest
everybody.
of your day. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thanks for tuning
And
into
if
the
you
Jeff
didn't,
Heilman Project.
Watch another one. You might like another one.
We'll send you a cat food. We'll send you a cat food top for a medal.
Thanks,
for being
everybody.
our millionth subscriber.
See you. Bye.
Bye.